the days after the fall of Babylon, when the Medes and Persians had taken power, a new king named Darius ruled over the kingdom. He was a wise ruler, and to maintain order throughout his vast empire, he appointed 120 satraps, regional governors, to govern the provinces. Over them, he placed 3 administrators, and one of these was a man named Daniel. Daniel was not a native of Babylon. He was one of the Jewish exiles who had been taken from Jerusalem many years before during the reign of Nebuchadnezzar. But over time, Daniel had become known for his wisdom, integrity, and unshakable faith in God. Under King Darius, he distinguished himself even further. So remarkable were his abilities that the king planned to set him over the entire kingdom, making him second in command. But not everyone was pleased with Daniel's rise. The other administrators and satraps became jealous. They saw Daniel's favor with the king and resented him. They searched for some way to bring him down, some fault they could exploit. But they found nothing. Daniel was honest. He was faithful. He was not corrupt, nor was he negligent in his duties. His life and his work were blameless. Finally, his enemies came to a conclusion. If they were going to trap Daniel, it would have to be through his faith. They devised a plan. Together, they approached King Darius and said, "O King Darius, live forever. We, the royal administrators, the prefects, the satraps, the advisors, and the governors, have all agreed that you should issue an edict and enforce a law that anyone who prays to any god or human being during the next 30 days, except to you, O king, shall be thrown into the lion's den." They appealed to the king's pride, proposing that he alone be worshipped for a time. The king, unaware of their hidden motives, agreed. The decree was written and signed. And under the law of the Medes and Persians, such decrees could not be revoked. Once written, not even the king himself could change it. But Daniel, when he learned that the decree had been signed, did not change his routine. 3 times a day, he went up to his room, where the windows faced Jerusalem. And just as he had done before, he knelt down to pray, giving thanks to his God. He did not hide. He did not stop. His faith remained steady and unchanged. His enemies were ready. They came as a group and found Daniel praying and asking God for help. That was all they needed. They hurried back to the king and said, "Did you not publish a decree that during the next 30 days, anyone who prays to any god or man except to you would be thrown into the lion's den?" The king answered, "Yes, the decree stands, in accordance with the law of the Medes and Persians, which cannot be repealed." Then they said, "Daniel, who is one of the exiles from Judah, pays no attention to you or to the decree you put in writing. He still prays 3 times a day." The king was struck with distress. He had not seen this coming. He valued Daniel and realized he had been tricked. All day long, he tried to find a way to save him, but the law could not be changed. The officials returned in the evening and pressed the matter, reminding him once again, "No decree or edict the king issues can be changed." With no other choice, the king gave the order. Daniel was brought and cast into the lion's den. But before he was lowered in, the king said to him, "May your God, whom you serve continually, rescue you." A stone was brought and placed over the mouth of the den. The king sealed it with his own signet ring and with the rings of his nobles, so that nothing could be changed concerning Daniel. And then the king returned to his palace. That night, he ate no food. He refused entertainment. He could not sleep. The worry and sorrow weighed heavily on him. At the first light of dawn, the king got up and hurried to the lion's den. When he reached it, he called out in a voice filled with anguish, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to rescue you from the lions?" Then came the voice of Daniel. "O king, live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent before him. Nor have I done any wrong before you, O king." The king was overjoyed. He ordered that Daniel be lifted from the den. And when Daniel was brought out, not a single wound was found on him, because he had trusted in his God. But the story did not end there. The king gave another command. The men who had falsely accused Daniel were brought in and thrown into the lion's den, along with their wives and children, and the lions overpowered them before they even reached the floor of the den. Then King Darius wrote to all the nations and peoples of every language throughout the earth, "May you prosper greatly. I issue a decree that in every part of my kingdom, people must fear and reverence the God of Daniel. For he is the living God, and he endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed, and his dominion will never end. He rescues and he saves. He performs signs and wonders in the heavens and on the earth. He has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions." And Daniel prospered during the reign of Darius and the reign of Cyrus the Persian.